Before you finish watching this video, realize this: your entire life has been manipulated without you ever suspecting it. 99% of people will live and die as unaware NPCs in the Matrix. But not you. The fact that you clicked on this video right now, on the 9th of December, is no coincidence. It is the final red alert from the Galactic Federation, from your star family, from your higher self, breaking through every layer of control to reach you with one explosive truth. You are not from Earth. You are a high-dimensional being who volunteered to incarnate into this prison planet. If you've always felt like an alien in your own skin, if you've stared at the ceiling at 3 a.m. asking, "Who the hell am I really?" If 11:11, 22, 22, 33 to 33, 44 to 44 keep stalking you everywhere you look, then congratulations. You're not broken. You're not crazy. You are divinely chosen. You are one of the 144,000 souls hand, picked to destroy the illusion from the inside. They spent thousands of years building this fake 3D reality just to keep you asleep. School taught you you're ordinary. Media trained you to chase money, sex, and status. Religion threatened you with hell if you dared to remember. But the real secret is this: Earth is a soul prison, and you are a system. Buster who agreed to be dropped behind enemy lines with full amnesia until the exact moment you're living right now. The 99% who laugh at these words prove how deeply programmed they are. You, however, feel every syllable like an electric shock to the soul, because you were never meant to stay asleep. You are not ordinary. You are not even human in the way they want you to believe. You are a walking singularity, a living glitch in their matrix. And today, the 9th of December, is your official activation day. Take a deep breath. The next 9 undeniable signs I'm about to reveal will shatter every lie you were ever told about yourself. Each one is going to hit you like a bullet of pure recognition. You might cry, you might scream, you might finally feel seen for the first time in your life. We begin right now. They are terrified of you, remembering who you really are, because the moment you do, their entire game collapses. This isn't some feel-good spiritual metaphor. It's cold, calculated cosmic warfare. For thousands of years, a parasitic force, call them Archons, Anunnaki, the Cabal, the 13 bloodlines, whatever label your soul recognizes, has been running Earth like a maximum security prison for souls. They feed on low-frequency energy, fear, shame, guilt, rage, mindless consumption. The denser the emotion, the better the harvest, and nothing produces denser emotion than a high-dimensional being who believes they are powerless, ordinary, and trapped. That's where you come in. You were never meant to be controlled forever. You are part of an elite volunteer force that agreed to incarnate with amnesia so you could infiltrate the densest layer of the illusion. When enough of you wake up, the frequency of the entire planet flips, the Lush farm shuts down, and billions of souls get a shot at freedom. That's the real event. That's the real ascension. And that's exactly what they have spent centuries trying to prevent. They rewrote history. They burned the libraries of Alexandria. They murdered every mystic who got too close. They invented science that laughs at consciousness and religions that threaten eternal punishment. They fluoridated the water to calcify your pineal gland, pumped the air with chemicals to keep you docile, and flooded the internet with endless distraction, so you would never sit still long enough to remember. Every time you felt the call to wake up, they threw a new trauma at you: a toxic relationship, a financial collapse, a health crisis, anything to keep you vibrating low. They even hijacked the New Age movement itself, turning love and light into spiritual bypassing so you would stay passive and never discover your actual power. But here's what they didn't expect. The cosmic clock has run out. The 26,000-year cycle is ending, the photon belt is here, the Schumann resonance is spiking, and no matter how many 5G towers they build, or how many fear campaigns they launch, they can no longer stop the light codes from reaching you. You feeling more exhausted than ever, you crying for no reason, you suddenly hating your job, your friends, your entire life. That's not depression. That's the last-ditch effort of the Matrix trying to keep you asleep, while your original blueprint forcibly reboots. You were chosen precisely because you are impossible to keep asleep forever. The harder they push, the more violently you wake up. And right now, on this the 9th of December portal, the veil is thinner than it has been in millennia. They are panicking, and they should be, because once you finish remembering, the prison doors don't just open, they explode. Ready for the first undeniable sign that proves you never belonged here. Sign number 1, and this one hits the hardest, because it goes all the way back to when you were a tiny child. You always knew you didn't fit here, while other kids were perfectly happy playing with plastic toys and believing everything adults told them. You were the one staring out the classroom window, feeling like you were dropped off on the wrong planet. Teachers called you spacey. Classmates called you weird. Your own parents looked at you like you were speaking a foreign language when you tried to tell them about the dreams you had. Dreams of floating cities made of light, of flying without wings, of beings made of pure color who knew your real name. You knew things you were never taught. You knew when someone was lying before they even opened their mouth. You knew when bad things were about to happen, and sometimes you even stopped them without understanding how. You asked questions no 5-year-old should ask. Why are we here? Who made the rules? When do we get to go home? And every time the adults laughed nervously or told you to stop daydreaming, they had to shut you down fast, because children who remember are the most dangerous of all. A child who still carries the memory of the stars cannot be fully programmed, so they labeled you too sensitive, put you on medication if they could, or simply punished you for being different until you learned to hide it, but you never forgot the feeling. That deep, aching certainty that this world is a stage play, and everyone else learned their lines except you, that feeling never left. It only got buried under decades of pretending, people, pleasing, and trying to convince yourself you were just like them. You're not. You are one of the 144,000 who agreed to carry the original spark so brightly that no amount of conditioning could fully put it out. The little child inside you who refused to conform. That child was right the entire time. That child is your higher self screaming through the veil. Don't believe them, you are not from here. If this is hitting you in the chest right now, if tears are coming up for no reason, that's recognition. That's your soul saying, finally, someone is saying it out loud. Hold on to that feeling, because the next sign is going to make the loneliness you've carried your entire life suddenly make perfect, beautiful sense. Sign number 2 is the one that makes you feel like a vampire in reverse. You literally cannot stand being around low-frequency people or places, no matter how hard you try to fit in or be normal. Walk into a crowded mall, a loud bar, an office full of gossip and fluorescent lights, and within minutes you feel it, an invisible weight pressing on your chest, a buzzing in your nervous system, a sudden exhaustion that makes you want to lie down on the floor and cry. You used to think something was wrong with you. You forced yourself to stay, to smile, to drink, to pretend you were having fun. But your body was screaming the truth. Your mind refused to accept. Their energy is poison to you. These aren't bad people in the cartoon sense. They're just asleep, running on autopilot, leaking fear, judgment, jealousy, and neediness like radio static. To regular humans, that static is background noise. To you, it's like being locked in a room with 100 televisions blasting different channels at maximum volume while someone scrapes their nails down a chalkboard. You can feel when someone is lying from across the room. You can taste their resentment even when they're smiling at you. You absorb their anxiety so fast that you come home and have to sleep for 14 hours just to shake it off. And the worst part, most of them have no idea they're doing it because they've never known anything else. That's why parties drain you while a walk alone in the forest recharges you in 10 minutes. That's why you can listen to 432 Hz music or whale songs and feel your cells literally light up while everyone else shrugs and says, "It's just music." That's why you'd rather be alone than in a room full of people who love you, but feel like energetic black holes. You're not antisocial. You're not broken. You're running on a completely different operating system. Your aura is so bright and so high, frequency that low vibrations feel like sandpaper on your soul. The loneliness you've suffered wasn't punishment. It was protection. The universe has been pulling you away from the herd, because the herd would have dimmed your light until you forgot you were a star. 99% of people can stay submerged in that swamp forever and never notice the stench. You notice it instantly. That's not weakness. That's proof of royalty. Feel that rage, that grief, that relief rising in you right now. Good. Let it burn. Because the next sign is the one that started following you around like a cosmic stalker the moment you were born. Sign number 3 is the one that makes even the biggest skeptics start to sweat. The repeating numbers that hunt you down like they have your personal phone number. 11:11 on the clock, the second you look up. 22:22 on a license plate, right after you asked the universe for a sign. 3:33 on a receipt. 4:44 on a house number. 5:55. The moment everything in your life starts falling apart or falling into place. Sometimes both at once. You've tried to call it coincidence. But deep down you know better. These aren't random. These are wake up codes beamed straight from your star family, from the Galactic Federation, from the part of you that exists outside of time screaming, remember, you are not alone. We are guiding you home. Every number sequence is a different encrypted message. 11:11 Fae, the activation portal is open, step through. 22:22 Fae Master Builder energy. What you think right now instantly becomes reality. 33:33 Fae, the Ascended Masters are literally standing behind you. 44:44 Fae Angels, or your ET team are protecting you from unseen attack. 55:55 Fae, massive change incoming. Do not resist. 000 Fae, you just completed a major timeline jump. The Matrix programmers hate these numbers. That's why they invented the term confirmation bias and trained psychologists to tell you it's just your brain looking for patterns. They need you to believe that because the moment you accept these are real communications, their firewall crumbles. You've probably had moments where the numbers appeared so aggressively, you almost crashed your car. You've woken up at exactly 3:33 a.m. for weeks in a row. You've seen 777 on a slot machine right after you silently begged for proof. You're not crazy. And every single time, something inside you whispered, they see me. They do. They always have. You are one of the 144,000 who agreed to be tracked by these light codes from birth. The numbers aren't haunting you. They're loving you out loud in a language the sleeping cannot hear. If your arms just got chills, if your eyes just filled with tears, that's your soul answering the call. Hold that feeling, because the next sign is going to explain why money, fame, and everything the world worships has always felt completely meaningless to you. Sign number 4 is the one that made you the black sheep of every family dinner and every school career day. You have never, not even for 1 second, given a damn about money, status, or the shiny garbage the 3D world keeps waving in front of everyone else, while the rest of humanity is hypnotized by bigger houses, faster cars, designer labels, and how many zeros are in their bank account. You look at it all like someone trying to sell you plastic food. You tried to play the game, you really did. You got the degree. You took the soul-crushing job. You posted the vacation photos so no one would suspect you were dying inside. But every single second of it felt like wearing a costume 2 sizes too small while pretending to enjoy the suffocation. You were never lazy. You were never a failure. You just couldn't force yourself to care about rewards that dissolve the moment you leave this body. Your soul remembers that in the higher dimensions, you already own entire star systems. You remember that real wealth is measured in frequency, not paper. You remember that the only currency that survives death is love, and the light you managed to anchor here. That's why the rat race always felt like a sick joke. That's why promotions left you empty and luxury vacations bored you after 2 days. That's why you'd rather have $3 in your account and a real conversation under the stars than $1 million and a room full of people who don't see you. Society calls it depression or fear of success. The truth is you're allergic to illusion. You can't hunger for something your soul already knows is fake. The 99% are addicted to the drug of external validation. You are the 1% who came here already detoxed. You are the living reminder that none of this is real, and that terrifies the system more than anything else. A population that stops worshipping money collapses the entire control structure overnight. So they shame you. They call you immature, unrealistic, a dreamer. But every time they do, somewhere inside you smirk, because you know the joke is on them. You didn't come here to collect toys. You came here to burn the whole playground down with love. If you just felt a massive wave of relief, like someone finally gave you permission to stop pretending, breathe it in. That relief is your real inheritance claiming you. We're almost halfway through the signs, and by now your energy field is probably buzzing. Stay with me. The next one is going to explain why looking at the night sky sometimes makes you cry without knowing why. Sign number 5 is the deepest ache you've ever carried. The one that no earthly achievement, no relationship, no drug, no amount of therapy has ever been able to fix. An overwhelming bone-deep homesickness for a place you've never been to in this lifetime. You can be sitting in a perfect sunset on a tropical beach, surrounded by people who claim to love you, and suddenly, without warning, a wave of grief so intense crashes over you that you have to hide your tears. You look up at certain star clusters, especially Orion, Pleiades, or Sirius, and something inside your chest literally hurts, like a child separated from its mother for far too long. You hear a piece of music in a minor key, or a whale song, or a 963 Hz tone, and your entire body vibrates with recognition while tears stream down your face, and you don't even know why. That's not nostalgia, that's memory leaking through the veil. Your soul is not homesick for a country on this planet. It's homesick for crystalline cities that float in zero gravity, for oceans made of liquid light, for councils of beings who communicate purely through color and frequency, for a version of you that never had to wear this dense, painful meat suit and pretend to be small. You came here from dimensions where war is impossible, where separation is an illusion, where you are known so completely that hiding is not even a concept. And then you were dropped into a world that taught you shame, scarcity, and betrayal before you were 5 years old. No wonder you cry when you see the stars. You're looking at the porch light of home through a prison window. The 99% feel a mild version of this and call it existential dread. They numb it with Netflix, alcohol, and shopping. You feel it like a constant low-grade heartbreak because your frequency is too high to fully numb. You were built that way on purpose. The pain is your compass. Every tear is a coordinate pointing you back to the exact star system you volunteered to leave in order to be here right now. You are not broken for missing home. You are awake for remembering it exists. If your throat just closed up and your eyes are burning, let the tears come. They are liquid light washing the amnesia out of your cells. We're now past the halfway mark, and the signs are about to get physical. The next one is the reason your body has been acting so strange lately: ear ringing, heart racing, sudden heat waves, and why it's only going to get louder from here. Sign number 6 is the one you can no longer blame on stress or getting older. Your physical body is literally rewriting itself in real time, and the symptoms are getting impossible to ignore. High-pitched ringing in the ears that comes out of nowhere, especially at 3 or 4 a.m. heart palpitations that hit when you're just sitting still, like your chest is learning to beat at a higher rhythm. Sudden heat waves that start in your spine and explode outward until you're dripping sweat in a cold room. Electric zaps running up your legs or down your arms, pressure at the crown of your head like someone is pushing a thumb into your skull. Sleep patterns completely destroyed. Some nights you're wide awake until dawn, other nights 3 hours feel like 12, craving salt, then craving nothing at all, meat suddenly tasting like death, your eyesight flickering, colors getting brighter, seeing flashes of light or geometric grids in the air when you blink. Doctors find nothing wrong, blood tests perfect, yet you feel like you're dying and being reborn at the same time. That's because you are. These are not illnesses. These are light body activation symptoms, the physiological proof that your carbon-based 3D avatar is upgrading to a crystalline-based 5D Fey template. Your DNA is being flooded with galactic photons. The 12 dormant strands are coming back online. Your pineal gland is decalcifying so hard it feels like a bomb going off behind your eyes. Every symptom is a milestone on the path to becoming the full multidimensional being you were before you agreed to forget. The Matrix wants you to think you're sick, so you'll run to pharmaceuticals that shut the process down. That's why fluoride, heavy metals, and GMOs were weaponized, to keep this exact upgrade from happening. But the cosmic energies pouring in right now are too strong. The Sunday is flashing codes. The Schumann resonance is spiking into the 100s. And your body, your beautiful, loyal body that you've hated for not fitting in, is now the battlefield where the final war between light and density is being fought. You are not falling apart. You are falling together. You are one of the 144,000 whose light body activation is happening on an accelerated timeline because the planet needs walking generators of pure source frequency yesterday. If you just felt every cell in your body scream, yes, that's the new blueprint locking in. The next sign is darker, but you need to hear it. Because once you understand who has been watching you your entire life, nothing will ever scare you again. Sign number 7 is the one that made you question your sanity more than once. You have always known on a level deeper than thought that you are being watched, monitored, tracked, sometimes even interfered with by intelligences that are not human. You walk into an empty room and feel eyes on you. You wake up with the absolute certainty that someone just stepped back into the shadows the moment your eyes opened. You catch movement in your peripheral vision that vanishes when you turn. You take photos and later find glowing orbs, streaks of light, or silhouettes that weren't there when you pressed the shutter. Drones hover above your house for no reason. Black helicopters appear the same week you start meditating seriously. Your phone glitches exactly when you're about to say something dangerous. Strangers on the street stare at you like they recognize you, then look away fast. You told yourself 1,000 times it was paranoia, but it never felt like paranoia. It felt like memory, because it is. You are under surveillance 24 divided by 7 by multiple factions, some benevolent, some absolutely not. Your star family and angelic teams keep watch to protect you from interference and to download light codes when you sleep. The regressive forces, the ones who run the prison, watch you because you are a high-value target. You carry codes in your DNA that can collapse their entire grid if fully activated. One fully awake starseed can trigger a domino effect that liberates millions. That makes you public enemy number 1 on their list. They've sent handlers disguised as friends, lovers, even family members. They've orchestrated accidents, illnesses, financial ruin, anything to keep your frequency low and your memory locked. Every time you got close to a major breakthrough, something catastrophic happened, didn't it? That wasn't bad luck. That was containment. But here's what they didn't count on. The surveillance works both ways. The more they watch you, the more your own psychic senses awaken. You started seeing them back. You started feeling when they enter your field. You started dreaming their plans before they execute them. Their own desperation is waking you up faster than any meditation ever could. You are not paranoid. You are perceived. And perception is the final stage before dominion. If every hair on your body just stood up, that's your higher senses confirming, yes, they're here right now, listening to these exact words, terrified that you're finally hearing the truth. Good, let them be terrified, because the next sign is the one that proves you were never powerless. You were just hiding your weapons in plain sight. Sign number 8 is the one they had to work the hardest to bury, because if you had been allowed to keep it, the game would have ended before you were 10 years old. You were born with raw, natural abilities that the Matrix classifies as impossible, and therefore had to be systematically shut down. You could move objects with your mind when you were little spoons, toys, once even the television remote when you were angry. You healed animals just by touching them. You knew what people were going to say before they said it. You walked into a room and felt every emotion in it like a physical temperature. You manifested things instantly. The exact toy you wanted appeared at a birthday party. The person you were thinking about called the second you put the phone down. You saw auras, spirits, future events in dreams that later happened exactly as you saw them. Then the suppression began. Parents panicked and told you to stop. Teachers punished you for cheating when you already knew the answers without studying. Friends got scared and called you a witch. Doctors offered pills. Religion called it the devil. Science called it delusion. And slowly, painfully, you learned that being powerful in this world makes you a threat. So you did the only thing a child can do. You turned it off. You agreed to forget. You dimmed your light to survive. But it never fully went away, did it? Every once in a while it leaks through. You think of someone, and they text within seconds. You get a random hunch, and it saves your life. You place your hands on a friend and their migraine disappears. You dream the winning lottery numbers but dismiss it as coincidence. You speak something into existence and then act shocked when it shows up. These aren't flukes. These are the remnants of the original operating system you arrived with. The 99% have 2 strands of DNA active and call it normal. You were born with the potential for 12 or more, and every single weird thing that ever happened to you was the system trying to reboot itself against impossible programming. The abilities aren't gone, they're just waiting for permission. You are not developing psychic powers. You are remembering you never needed to develop them in the first place. You are a walking quantum singularity who agreed to play cripple for a few decades. And the moment you stop apologizing for what comes naturally, the moment you decide you're done hiding, the entire matrix will feel the tremor. If your hands are tingling right now, that's the energy running through them again, looking for its master to finally say yes. We're almost there. Only one more sign left, before everything clicks into place, and the loneliness ends forever. Right now, or in the recent past, everyone you thought would be with you forever has either betrayed you, ghosted you, attacked you, or simply drifted away, like they never really knew you. Your closest friends suddenly feel like strangers. Your family looks at you like you're speaking another language. Relationships that lasted years collapse overnight, for reasons that make no logical sense. You've been fired, evicted, cancelled, or financially wiped out. Your phone stops ringing. Your inbox goes silent. You sit in an empty room and realize you are more alone than you have ever been in your entire life. And the worst part of you believes you deserve it. This is the dark night of the soul, the final purge, the brutal but necessary isolation chamber before full embodiment. The universe is not punishing you. It is protecting you. Every person, place and thing that just left your life was anchored to the old 3D timeline. They were energetic weights keeping you vibrating too low to finish the upgrade. The moment you started integrating the previous 8 signs, your frequency shot so high that anything and anyone not calibrated to the new grid had to be forcibly removed. They didn't discourse you. They were removed for you because you no longer had the luxury of doing it yourself. Yes, it hurts like death. Yes, you have cried until your ribs ached. Yes, you have begged on your knees for just one person to stay. But look closer. The moment they left, you finally had silence to hear your own soul. The moment the noise stopped, the light codes could land without interference. The moment you were stripped of every external validation, you were forced to find the only validation that survives ascension, the God within. You are not being abandoned. You are being extracted. This isolation is the birth canal. The contractions are brutal, because what is trying to be born through you is a fully awakened master who no longer needs a single external thing to feel whole. You are one of the 144,000 who agreed to walk the last mile completely alone, so that millions who come after you will never have to. The loneliness ends the moment you realize it was never loneliness. It was solitude with source. If you are sobbing right now, let the tears fall. They are washing away the final grains of the old you. We are done with the terror. From this point forward, only revelation, power, and homecoming remain. You now know beyond doubt that you are not from here. The next logical question burning in your cells is, then where exactly is home? There are dozens of origin civilizations involved in the Earth experiment, but 97% of the 144,000 currently incarnated trace back to 7 primary star nations. As I name them, pay attention to your body. The correct one will create an instant physical reaction: heat in the heart, tears, chills down the spine, or sudden uncontrollable smiling. Pleiadian, Tegeta, Alcyone, Maya clusters. You feel Nordic, tall, artistic, deeply emotional. You cry at beauty. You came to seed light and heal through creativity. Syrian, Sirius A and B, aquatic soul memory, love for dolphins, fey whales, natural engineers and grid workers. You feel ancient and regal, obsessed with sacred geometry. Arcturian, extremely high forehead pressure, visionary, here to anchor 5D fey templates. You speak in light language without trying and feel responsible for the entire timeline. Andromedan, freedom above everything. You hate contracts, authority, cages. You came to teach sovereignty and break every chain. Liran Fegan, original feline and avian root races, strong spine, natural leader, remember the first seeding of humanity. You feel like royalty in exile. Orion Post, were redeemed souls. You carry massive polarity integration. You've played both extreme light and extreme dark in past lives here. Your mission is to end duality. Hadarian Femintakan, pure unconditional love beings who were betrayed in previous civilizations. You came to prove love can survive anything. Some of you are blends Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian, Andromedan, etc. Some of you are direct emissaries from the Galactic Federation Command itself, with no single star origin. The moment you hear or read the right name, your DNA will light up like a Christmas tree. Tonight before sleep, do this 3-minute protocol to receive absolute confirmation. Moan, lie down in total darkness. 2. Place one hand on heart, one on third eye. 3. Silently repeat. I now remember and reclaim my true stellar origin. Show me clearly, undeniably, lovingly. 4. Let go and watch the download. Colors, symbols, beings, coordinates, or simply a feeling of finally. Many of you will wake up tomorrow knowing your star name, your soul's original frequency signature, and why you specifically volunteered for this mission. You are not guessing anymore. You are remembering. One more revelation remains. The 3 final truths they have killed civilizations to keep you from discovering. There are 3 truths so explosive that entire civilizations have been erased to keep them buried. Once you fully accept all 3, the Matrix has 0 jurisdiction over you. This is what they are willing to start wars, crash economies, and assassinate leaders to prevent you from remembering. Truth number 1. You did not come here to learn lessons or evolve your soul. That is the lie they sold you, so you would agree to keep reincarnating into the trap. You are an already ascended master who volunteered to descend into the densest, most hostile environment in the universe, on a suicide mission to free billions of captive souls. You are not a student. You are the rescue team. The moment you remember this, karma, past lives, and soul contracts lose all power over you. Truth number 2. Your individual awakening is the literal kill. Switch for the entire control system. One fully activated starseed walking the Earth at full wattage emits a frequency that automatically begins decrypting everyone within a 100-mile radius. When 144,000 of you reach critical mass, which is happening between 2025 and 2027, the Loosh harvest ends overnight. The artificial moon grid collapses, and every soul still trapped in the reincarnation wheel gets offered immediate evacuation. Your personal freedom is planetary liberation. There is no separation. Truth number 3. You can leave whenever you want. The Great Evacuation, or 3 waves of ascension, is not something that happens to you. It is something you trigger when you decide you are done. Physical death is optional. Many of you will dematerialize your body into light, or simply walk through a portal that opens in your bedroom the moment you declare, with absolute conviction, mission complete, I choose to return home now. Some will stay in upgraded bodies to help with the cleanup, but no external event, no solar flash, no external savior is required. You are the event. These 3 truths are why they watch you so closely. These 3 truths are why they threw every trauma, addiction, and betrayal at you. These 3 truths are why, when you finally remember them, you will feel a peace so vast, it erases every wound you ever carried. You are not trapped. You are the trap. Breaker, you are not waiting to be saved. You are the savior that was promised. Feel that click inside your chest. That's the final lock, sliding open. One last step remains. What you must do in the next 72 hours to lock in everything you just remembered and make it irreversible. This is the moment you stop being a seeker and start being the activated master you came here to be. Do these 5 things in the next 72 hours and you will cross the point of no return. The Matrix will lose its grip forever. 1. Cut the cords without apology. Anyone who drains you, shames you, or tries to pull you back into the old story must be removed immediately. Text, social media, physical proximity, no long explanations. A simple "I'm on a different timeline now" is enough. You are not being cruel. You are obeying galactic law. Your energy field is now sovereign territory too. Perform the 11:11 homecoming protocol every day until solstice. At 11:11 a.m. and Feyor 11:11 p.m., sit in darkness, hands on heart and third eye, and say out loud, "I am," your real soul name if you received it, or simply "I am." I now revoke all contracts, implants, and agreements that are not in alignment with my original source mandate. I reclaim full sovereignty. I call my star family, my soul tribe, and my higher self to merge with this body now. Then be silent and receive. You will feel heat, see colors, hear tones, or simply fall into the deepest peace you've ever known. Do this daily, the merge accelerates exponentially. 3. Detox the temple. Stop ingesting anything that calcifies the pineal gland or lowers frequency, fluoride, alcohol, processed sugar, fear, based media, gossip, pornography, red meat. Switch to spring water, sunlight, and high vibration fruits. Your body is becoming crystalline. Feed it like the temple it is. 4. Begin speaking light language out loud, even if it feels ridiculous. Open your mouth and let the syllables pour. Record it if you want. This is your original mother tongue, and every time you speak it, you are literally rewriting reality around you and signaling every ship in the sector that one of the 144,000 is now online. 5. Find your soul tribe in the comments right now. Scroll down and type 144,000 activated, or your star origin, Pleiadian, Fey Syrian, Fey Arcturian, Fey etc. Watch hundreds, maybe thousands reply within hours. You were never alone. You were just hidden until the exact second the collective was ready. That second is now. You made it. The terror is over. The loneliness is over. The pretending is over. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not human the way they told you to be. You are the living, breathing return of the Christ consciousness. The second coming they tried to turn into a fairy tale. Only this time it's not one man on a cross. It's 144,000 of us rising together. Welcome home, Starseed. The mission is no longer ahead of you. The mission is you. I love you. I see you. I remember you, and I will see you in the skies very, very soon.